And we're back with part 2 of our show this weekend, all about What About Nutrition on Westplex Radio. Mr. Nutrition himself, David Gall, from O'Fallon Nutrition. They're in their new location at Mexico Road, Highway K, up at the little strip center close to Slackers. There's a Quiznos up there, kind of catty-cornered from, I guess you could see the Home Depot from there, and also you can see Texas Roadhouse. So it's right there in O'Fallon. You must stop by and check them out online at o'fallonnutrition.com, o'fallonnutrition.com. Great conversation here. Again, we have a special guest with David Gall. David?
Hey, Steve. Thanks a bunch. And yeah, we're definitely having a good time here. We're talking to Kim Olson with Genesis Today, also the author of the blog at www.fitkim.com. And we were just talking about green coffee extract and its potential benefits for supporting weight loss, as well as its antioxidant properties. And now we're going to talk about a really, really exciting, newer, but when you hear about what it is, it's not that new, but it's new for the supplement industry. That's the black raspberry extract, which has really been a big deal in the media lately. And Kim, before we get real far, you just mentioned in the break that you wrote a book, and I just wanted, what's the name of that book?
It's the FitKim Lifestyle. The
FitKim Lifestyle. Okay, and can folks see that if they'd like to at fitkim.com?
Yes, absolutely. It just kind of sums up, what I've learned and just how to keep it easy, simple, and be able to be healthy. If you're on the go, have kids, you name it.
Well, I think that sounds like a great topic, and I know from this interview, as well as our previous show we did with you, interviewing you on the Gen Essentials line from Genesis Today, which we do have those CDs in the store. If anybody's interested or wants to learn more from Kim, we have free CDs in the store from another interview with her. But I encourage everybody to check out fitkim.com and look into that book. But getting back to our topic today, black raspberry extract. Boy, Kim, we have seen a lot of demand for this. And from what I understand, it's even only available a couple times a year in terms of when they harvest it. What is the big to-do about black raspberry extract?
Well, the one thing I want to point out is black raspberry. A lot of times people think it's blackberries.
Mm-hmm.
Say, oh, those grow wild in my backyard. I have those, or I throw them in my smoothies. So I just wanted to make sure everyone knew it's the black raspberry, which is actually very rare because it's only harvested, on average, the biggest harvest of the year. There's 21 days in July that it's peak time, and it's primarily found in Oregon. And what has happened is black raspberry, like you said, it's been around, but it's recently gained a lot of attention from prominent universities such as Ohio State University, Oregon State University, and it was featured on the Dr. Oz show.
Right.
And it was featured for destroying up to 80% of esophageal cancer cells and 60% of colon cancer cells. So, of course, that got everybody's attention.
No kidding. And, I want to point out, the fact that it was on Dr. Oz and that he's discussing these studies lends a heck of a lot of credibility to it from the perspective that regardless of what you think about Dr. Oz, he's not going to be saying this on TV unless his lawyers have checked that out about 16 different ways, is what I would expect. So it really makes an impact if he's, they're willing to go on there and discuss the fact that it destroyed cancer cells in these different studies. It makes me think there really must be something to this.
Absolutely. And Dr. Lindsay Duncan, who is the creator of Genesis Today, he does more legwork than Dr. Oz because obviously he's narrowed in on one specific niche.
Sure.
And also his research and development team. And then he has a staff of nutritionists, which I'm part of that team. We get to go and just find every single piece of data, studies, research we can find. So it's just a great thing to see it out there and know that it has been thoroughly researched. But
sure,
raspberry is actually a super antioxidant. And you hear about the word superfoods and you hear the words super antioxidants or antioxidants. But just to put this in perspective, David, blueberries, they're a superfood. I love them. They're so great for you. Black raspberries, their ORAC rating, which basically is an indicator of how intense it is as far as destroying free radicals and supporting your body, its ORAC rating is 3 times that of blueberries.
Wow. And isn't there a compound in the black raspberry extract? I believe it's called ellagic acid, and that's kind of a super compound found within the fruit, from what I understand.
Yep, there's ellagic acid, and then there's anthocyanins in antioxidants, too. So the ellagic acid, and these are what gives it that beautiful dark color. the ellagic acid has been shown to be antiviral and antibacterial. So whenever if I ever feel a little cold coming on, and I travel quite a bit for my job, so I'm always exposed to different germs.
Sure.
I used to take echinacea, 10 years ago. I go to black raspberry now. It's my way to fight off anything that might be trying to cause harm in my body. And then also that ellagic acid has been shown to eliminate free radicals even before they start oxidizing. So it also causes detoxification in the body. So it's something that people can actually take every day if they want to.
So I think what you just said is that it actually supports detoxification by helping the body excrete free radicals even before they were able to cause any oxidation in the first place, because that's pretty big.
That's huge, yeah, and it's almost going into that preventive, because we're so depending on our lifestyles, we've caused disease over time. We're so far the other way with having a lot of toxicity in the body and free radicals build up that this is the other end of the spectrum, where before that even happens, we're able to prevent those free radicals from forming and causing all kinds of havoc and damaging other cells. So it's very preventative in its nature. That's why I think it's just a super antioxidant. And then its other component, main source of benefits, is the powerful anthocyanins, and that's what helps with the healthy blood pressure levels. It's been shown to support that, which a lot of my clients, when they first come to me and I start working with them, a lot of them are on blood pressure medication, and it's just another way to look at food as the way that we heal our bodies instead of medication.
Sure. I totally agree with that, because there's a variety of compounds that are sources of these anthocyanins, and of course black raspberries are among the richest. And they're well known, I believe, for supporting blood vessel health and actually supporting issues such as collagen production, et cetera, that lead into having flexible, strong, resilient, elastic veins and arteries as opposed to more brittle ones. Is there any truth to what I'm saying there?
Yeah, yes, there is, absolutely. And when you look at the color of it, just like if you look at resveratrol and other components that have that beautiful, dark, rich color, whenever I see that in a food, it instantly triggers to me there's benefits with heart health. So what's so great about black raspberry, it's going to help promote a healthy heart. It's going to promote healthy blood pressure levels. It's also going to help promote healthy cholesterol levels. So we need, obviously, our body to be as strong as possible. And by flooding our bodies with all of these beneficial antioxidants, it's actually linked to anti-aging and longevity, because we all know free radicals cause damage and they cause aging. So by taking the black raspberry supplement, we're able to kind of slow that process down as much as we can.
That makes a lot of sense, and I want to stress to our listeners that when we talk about these antioxidants and these things that they do, these roles they play in the body, like we just were, one of the end results of this, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Kim, but I believe one of the results is that you can actually lower markers of inflammation.
Yes, you can. Yeah. So anytime you are taking a supplement, or some of our juices like our Mangosteen 100, I know you carry that. That's
Yes.
a great, powerful supplement or juice that you can take for anti-inflammation. So anytime the body is inflamed, it's just a host situation for disease to be caused, or sickness, or health, or joint issues. So the black raspberry is actually going to go through and kind of reduce that inflammation. It's going to stop the free radicals from oxidizing and then therefore causing more inflammation.
Wow, and so it really is interesting. I want to tie back to the two studies on cancer that you mentioned at the beginning of the statement, or excuse me, at the beginning of the segment, particularly for our listeners who might not have had an opportunity to hear that, and kind of tie that back into the fact that we know that these antioxidants, these anthocyanins and the ellagic acid, have effects on inflammation, and we know that inflammation is potentially tied into production of cancer cells, et cetera. And so what were the results of those two studies again on esophageal and colon cancer?
So sometimes they'll see benefits with superfoods that they'll prevent proliferation, or they'll prevent mutation of cells. Well, these studies showed that the black raspberry destroyed the esophageal cancer up to 80% and destroyed up to 60% of colon cancer cells. So if somebody's in that situation where those cells have turned, mutated and are now forming to be cancer cells, black raspberry has been shown to destroy that, which I just think that blows my mind. I mean, think about how strong that is.
Right. I mean, if that was a chemotherapy drug, it would be a blockbuster.
Exactly. And so that's a rough situation, but if you just think about day-to-day elements that people have, they don't feel so great, their mind is foggy, they have headaches, they have aches and pains, it can positively impact all of these symptoms that some of us experience.
Right. And, and for the purposes of education, when we talk about nutrition on What About Nutrition here, and we talk about aches and pains and ask that question, well, what about nutrition? Those are indicators of increases in inflammation in your body, or indicators that other things aren't necessarily working optimally, and gives ourselves an opportunity to address it before things become out of hand, before things, knock on wood, go down the road towards cancer and issues like that. You can address it sooner, hopefully.
Yes, and even if you eat really well, which we all intend to do, even if you ate perfect, you still are exposed to toxins every single day in our environment, our water, our air,
right.
Stress levels that we have. We operate at such a fast pace compared to 50 years ago, the food we're eating. And so we're having all these toxins that are building up in our bodies. Well, if we can take something like a superfood that's loaded with antioxidants, and with the black raspberry, because it's 100% pure, there's nothing added, just like the coffee bean, It is so concentrated. So basically, instead of eating several cups of fresh black raspberries, you can take a couple capsules. I mean, think about the benefits. You're just flooding your body with these antioxidants.
Right, and I think it's really cool that in 2012, unfortunately, we're getting exposed to a lot more toxins than folks were being exposed to in 1812. A lot more chemicals and different things are coming into our bodies, obviously, and that increases the toxic load. But on the other hand, let's thank our lucky stars that it is 2012 and we have things like black raspberry extracts. Sure, you can eat black raspberries, and we would encourage everybody to do that if they could find them. But thank goodness we have concentrated supplements like this that allow us to have some ammunition to combat that increased toxicity. And of course, we want to remind everybody, speak to your physician before making any changes in your supplement program regarding this. But we think this is news that you should all hear. And with that, Kim, it's been a wonderful interview. I really appreciate you teaching us about green coffee as well as the black raspberry extract today, and want to remind everybody to come out to O'Fallon Nutrition and O'FallonNutrition.com. And with that, Steve, why don't you just take us out?
All right. Well, thank you very much. Another great show on Westplex Radio. Join us again next week, Saturdays 8:30 to 9, and Sundays 10 to 10:30. The show that's got you talking about better health and the store that can make it happen for you. O'Fallon Nutrition. Steve Casper saying bye-bye for now. See you next week.